everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my current favorites. I actually haven't done one of these in quite a while, so I have some pretty good makeup items to mention, and then I have some miscellaneous items that I want to mention. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive right in, and I do actually want to start out with the makeup before we move on to some skincare items. The first thing I actually want to talk about is from Pat McGrath. I know that this is very expensive, but I've had my eye on this for the last few years. I did pick this up during the Sephora sale. I'm really hoping that Pat McGrath's actual website does the I think 25% off they did. Was it last Black Friday or something? That's what I'm hoping, and I'll just purchase a bunch of things from their website because 25% is more than 20%. But yeah, anyways, this is like a little highlighter palette, and these are quite a unique formulas. I think that they're quite unique. They're like a creamy powder, if that makes sense. These are the two shades that I use. I don't use this shade, it's just too deep for me. But when I first seen these in the pan, I was like, oh my gosh, these are gonna be like too pink. That one's like, you guys can see, too blue. And then of course I'll swatch this one as well, just in case you guys want to see it. But what's really weird is when I blend these out on my cheeks, I have it very lightly just right here, the second shade, is that it's so weird because it doesn't look super pink. This looks like, as you guys can see, kind of like a duochrome. It doesn't look like that, and then this kind of looks like a bluey gold. But I feel like on my cheeks, it looks just like a really nice, pretty gold shade. I don't know, it's so weird. Because like I said, when I first swatched these, I was like, oh my gosh, that's just, you know what I'm saying, that's just not going to work for me. But I really like these. I like the formula. I think it lays really well on the skin. I like to actually use a brush with those, but again, you could probably use your finger because they're so nice and creamy. But I see what the hype is about this palette is because it's natural, but at the same time, it's like that, I don't know, that glow from within. I just really like it. I'm not super big into the intense highlighters anymore. I definitely prefer something a little bit more subtle, and this is one of those palettes. I love it. I know it's expensive, but it's one of those things that I'm just I wanted to hate, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be lying if I said I didn't absolutely love this palette. It's probably been the only highlighter palette. I'm trying to think if I've used any more highlighter palettes since I purchased this. Yeah, I think this is the only palette I've been using since I purchased this, and I really like it. Now, I do want to mention another Pat McGrath product. I'm so sorry. This is the Pat McGrath Ultra Lip Pencil. So this is shade Contour. I actually got this because Kathleen Lights has mentioned it all the time, and I'm like, okay, if she has literally been using this, I feel like for forever, then it's got to be good, and I agree. It's a lip liner I've got on and filled my lips in with the day. I love it. It's super creamy, but what I like about this is I can wear it on its own because it doesn't fade, but at the same time, I feel like it's really hard to find a lip pencil that's creamy, that doesn't tug, that has a long staying power on your lips, because usually if they're really nice and creamy, I feel like they fade quite quickly. But that's what makes this formula so unique. However, I do want to mention these remind me of got them right here because I wanted to share them with you guys, of the Loreal lip pencils. I think if you want a more affordable dupe, these are really nice and creamy, and they last a good amount of time. They don't last as long as the Pat McGrath one, but they are very similar in how the formulation feels on your lips. Again, this is the shade Contour. I'll show you guys, and then I'll compare it to the L'Oreal ones I was talking about. Just a pretty really nice warm neutral shade. And then this shade is actually by L'Oreal. It's pretty similar. This is the shade Matting Call. So again, if you guys don't want to pay the price, and they're both ones that you have to sharpen. So as you guys can see, I mean, the color of those are almost identical. I'd say the L'Oreal one's just slightly a little bit more neutral, and then this one by L'Oreal is Matte It. So they're all that very creamy formula, but again, I feel there's something about it that when it kind of starts to dry down, it doesn't make your lips look cracky or anything, but just keeps that really nice smooth effect that I find is really hard to find in a lip liner. But these are some of my favorite from the drugstore. So if you don't want to splurge on the Pat McGrath one, but you're looking for something similar, again, this doesn't have the staying power that the Pat McGrath ones does, but again, they feel very similar on the lips, then definitely check out the L'Oreal ones because they're really good. These are the color Riche matte ones. So again, really been loving those. All right, so I do want to move on to another more high-end product. So this is actually a Marc Jacobs eyeliner, and I was really surprised I like this. It's what I've got on my waterline today. I did try out a new eyeshadow palette, which I'm not still trying to try out, but I'm not super impressed with the shimmer shades. This one is in the shade Deja Blue. How cute is that? This is that really pretty, I feel sky blue. I think that it really makes your lash line look really bright without being that stark white on the line. I really like this, and I'm surprised because blue is my favorite eyeshadow color, but everyone's you know, you have blue eyes, so they don't exactly look the best together, but I don't care. I like blue, and like I used to wear blue eyeshadow in high school, and I really like it. So it's what I've got on my waterline. I love the Marc Jacobs liners. I have not tried these shimmer ones, but I do like these, and I have the black one, which is like my favorite black eyeliner. So really really like these Marc Jacobs liners. So I wanted to mention that color specifically because I've really been enjoying it. I think that even though it's blue, it still makes my lower like tight line or whatever, like lash line, it really makes it pop. So all right, moving on to one more high-end product, then I have some drugstore. So this is from Patrick Ta. So this is the bronzer. I'm going to try not to blind you guys here. The bronzer and cream bronzer and powder bronzer. So this does, I really like the packaging in this. It's a little bit bulky, but I like it's got this little flap right here. So this is more of like a neutrally kind of cool cream bronzer. But what I like about this is I think that if you're a beginner when it comes to like creams and stuff, this is a really, really great one because it's very like smooth, it blends out really easy, but it's not overly pigmented, which I like. So I think that if you're someone who's just kind of dipping your feet in the water, it's very easy to not go overboard with this, and it's very easy to work with. It's not patchy or anything. And then the bronzer, which is a little bit more warmer, it's like these two make the perfect like sculpting duo because this of course is a little bit warmer, so these two just mesh really well together. I will be honest, I did try the cream bronzer with like going there with my Marc Jacobs bronzer, and I don't like how those two formulas mix together. I feel like these two formulas, they work together and like not separate. Does that make sense? So I really do like both of them together. It's what I used on my face today. I just think it's one of those things that does a really nice job at kind of just like sculpting your face in like the most natural way. I definitely feel like that like harsh contour and like blinding highlights just not in anymore. It's definitely more of like a soft kind of sculpting, and I definitely feel like you can do this. Again, I think that this is really really nice. I passed on the brush because I just thought it was too expensive, but I think that this is definitely worth it, this combo together. So if you guys haven't tried this out, you definitely should. Again, really really been enjoying this. All right, now for some like affordable blushes. So this is the Flower, what are these called? Blush Bombs. I picked up 2 shades, and this one is in the shade Pinched and then Melon. So again, I love cream products, but they do not last very long on my oily skin. And again, these are no exception. I still need to set these with a powder, but what I like to do is actually set these with like my Clinique powder because I feel like it's like very like, they're not I'm sorry, they're not super pigmented, so I feel like it just kind of sets these and still gives me that like cream blush look. These remind me of like kind of like a very like, I've been out in the sun, I've like just flushed look to the skin. Again, Melon is definitely my favorite, which surprises me because it's like more of like a like vibrant shade, but these blend out very very nicely. Like if you're worried about going overboard, don't be. I prefer to blend these out with a sponge. Again, that's going to kind of be a little bit personal preference, but they give the prettiest like juicy like wet look to this to the cheeks. Just really really pretty blushes, and these are quite affordable. And what I like about these as well is I feel like they're one of those that like it's very easy to like blend these. You don't really have to worry about them looking patchy or anything. I find that they just blend extremely extremely well, and they literally just look like wet on your cheeks. So again, really really like these. I do have a blush that like I've been using over top of this, but I don't want to mention it yet because I've only probably been using it for about 3 weeks, but really really been loving these. All right, next I have 2 more like skincare items. So the first one is a sunscreen. So I've been using my Supergoop one, which I think I mentioned in my last favorites video. This is from SkinCeuticals. It's their Physical Matte UV Defense Sunscreen. This has SPF 50 in it, so this is like the matte one. This does come out in like a tint, but I do find that this is one of those tints that don't really add any sort of coverage or anything. Now, I think you're going to either love this or you're going to absolutely hate it for a few reasons. One, there it is, like kind of like the tint. My camera's super rude, cut me off. I feel like I have to use a lot of this product to cover my face and my neck, but that doesn't bother me because I do feel like it truly gives me that matte kind of like look to my skin. I don't look super oily or super shiny, but this is one of the sunscreens that kind of has a little bit more of that gritty feel to it. So I think that a lot of people talking about like the First Aid Beauty one can kind of have a little bit of grittiness, so I kind of go like this in the tube, and I do feel like that helps it before I apply it, but that is something to watch out for. I think it does a lot better if you kind of warm it up between your fingers and kind of like blend it into your skin with your hands, and that grittiness definitely kind of goes away. But I do want to mention that because I know that can be a deal breaker for some people, but I like it because I feel like that matte look that it gives to my skin, one, keeps me matte longer throughout the day, and I feel like it also helps with any foundations that I'm wearing over top of it, keep it really nice and matte. So again, really been enjoying this. I know that SkinCeuticals can be a little more of a pricier brand, but I've been on the hunt for sunscreen like this. It kind of reminds me of the Coola one I used to love years and years ago. I don't know why I quit using that one. Maybe I should purchase that one out and try it again, but again, this one's really nice. Now, this next product I'm mentioning is so expensive. I think this is like 90 some dollars. This is from SkinCeuticals. It's the Blemish Plus Age Defense Salicylic Acid Acne Treatment. I really love this. It's one of those products that I feel like they mentioned for like adult acne. As you guys know, I really struggle with acne, especially down through here, which is usually hormonal. And I've just found that even though the rest of my skin will be really nice and clear, this area doesn't really change much until I started using this product. Anytime that time of the month comes around, I get those breakouts that are like underneath the skin. You know what I'm talking about. It's like they never come to the surface, but then they somehow scar. This has helped tremendously with that. I use this in the evenings. That's the only time I use it. I definitely don't use this in the mornings. And what I do is I take the dropper out and I do drop just a little bit on my skin like this. Make sure not to touch the dropper to my face. Again, I don't use too much of this. I mean, you guys can see I've already used quite a bit of this, and I know it is expensive, but a little bit of this does go a long way. And then once I've dropped it on my skin, I'll just kind of go like this and press it in, really kind of focusing right here. I do again feel like that helps. I do feel like though, since warmer weather's getting here, and I don't know what the mask mandates are like I know it's different in different states, but like where it's hot and I'm working and breathing in that, I am breaking out a lot more, and I feel like this has really helped with it compared to like where my skin was last year when I was having to wear a mask in the heat. So I love this. I know it's expensive, but it's one of those products that has genuinely really helped my skin. So I wanted to mention it for anybody out there who you definitely might be struggling. So alright guys, so my next favorite is actually from Target. This is the Good and Gather Sparkling Water and Raspberry Hibiscus. Sorry, mine's like all like wet and stuff because I've had it sitting out of the refrigerator. But I really like this. So my dad's actually really been trying hard to lose weight. He has rheumatoid arthritis and he's just trying to lose weight. So but he's really likes soda. So I was like, why don't we try getting you some sparkling water? So I picked up two flavors, strawberries and mango, I think. And then I picked up ginger peach was the two that I originally picked up. So he hates them. He absolutely hates them. But I hate to waste anything. Like especially when it comes to food and stuff like that, like I will not waste it. And when I first originally tried them, I was like, good Lord, like these are horrible. But again, I will not waste it. So I finished that first can. And I was like, you know what? Now that I've gotten done with it, it's not that bad. I kind of like it. So then I went through the strawberry mango, and I went through the the ginger peach, and I was like, man, these are really good. And when I ran out, I was like, I want more of these. So I went to Target, and this is by far my favorite flavor. This is raspberry hibiscus. I don't think that these are very expensive for you get like a pack of, is it 8 of them or something, or 10? I don't think that these are very expensive compared to other sparkling waters, and I love them. And like what is so funny is like I went to like get a drink of Coke the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, this tastes so flat, because these sparkling waters I feel like are like twice as intense. So if you're someone who you're really into soda and stuff and you're looking to kind of get off of them, I really recommend trying these sparkling waters. Even if you don't like them at first, just stick with it and they'll grow on you, because now I'm obsessed with them and I feel like I have to have them. I was probably drinking like 3 or 4 of these a day, but I did break a tooth. I broke a tooth like completely off. We had to do like a cap and everything. And I know that carbonation and stuff like that's not good for your teeth. So now I try to keep this down to like 1 a day and drink just like regular water, which isn't as fun. But I do really love these. And I feel like compared to, like I said, a lot of other sparkling water brands, this one's priced really good. So if you guys haven't tried those out, you definitely should. All right, so the next thing I have is probably what I'm most excited about, to be honest. So I have been looking for a like tote bag to keep my laptop in, my laptop charger, and my book that I'm currently reading in to go to work, because I carry a lunchbox. Then I carry my actual purse, which has like my wallet and all of that stuff in it. So I was looking for a tote bag. This is from Society6. I'll be honest, I didn't have the best experience with them, like customer service wise. But I do really like this bag. So basically, it's the first time I've ever ordered from them. This was supposed to be like a 13 by 13. It's more of like a 13 by 10 because it kind of goes down like this. So you can't really get wide objects, if that makes sense, in the bottom here. And my laptop does stick out of the top. But this works extremely well to put just my laptop and the charger in my book, because I like to take that on there if like I'm on lunch or like I get a break and I can like work. I'm trying to get back on editing my videos and stuff. And then of course reading, but I do really like this. So basically this is J. Christophe Nevernight. It's a saying from his book. It just says, the books we love, they love us back, and just as we mark our places in the pages, those pages leave their marks on us. I really, really like it. I think it's, again, super, super cute. I think you can get other sizes, but again, when I kind of measured up my laptop and stuff, I thought that this was going to be like a typical, you know, it wasn't going to like slant here on the edges, but everything fits. It's just a little bit more snug than I would like. So I am actually going to get like a thing to put my actual books in, like a book sleeve is what they're called. You like tuck them down in there and they'll keep like the edges and stuff from getting messed up, because the next book I'm about to share I'm obsessed with. But yeah, so I really like this. I'm going to mention it. I'll link it down below. Like I said, the only issue I kind of had was at the customer service. They had sent me the shipping information. I was like clicked it, watching it as it was tracking, and then all of a sudden I clicked on the tracking and it was saying it had disappeared. So I called who they shipped through, and they were saying that the package had been lost in transit. So then I reached out to them. It was just a whole thing, okay? But I did get it eventually, and I do really, really like it, and I think that it's really, really pretty. So definitely wanted to mention that. So and then lastly, I'm going to be mentioning a book. So I'm a huge fan of the Shadow and Bone series. I have not seen the series because I don't have Netflix anymore, but this is Rule of Wolves. So I always mark mine. I have a little bit left, so don't spoil it for anybody. But this was like a special edition through ill something. What is it? Oh my gosh. Illuminate? No. Oh my gosh. I can't remember, but I'll link it down below if it's still available. But how freaking beautiful is this book? Like, oh my god, I could die. So I am obsessed. I love the Shadow and Bone series. It was one of my favorite series that I read years and years ago. And then I read the Six of Crows duology, which again, if you guys probably, like, if you go way back on my channel, you'll see me talking about it. I enjoyed the Six of Crows duology more than I enjoyed the original Shadow and Bone series, just because there's a character in Six of Crows, Kaz, K-A-Z, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but he is like one of my favorite characters that's ever been written. I just love his attitude, and I really like him. So I just really enjoyed that series. And then she came out with like the King of Scars duology. And what's really, really great about that is like she takes characters from the original Shadow and Bone series, from the Six of Crows duology, and then has like meshed it into these two books. But something that I will be honest that I was really missing in like the Six of Crows duology is like, you're in the same world, but like it's kind of like later, if that makes sense, and like in a different part of that. Like, but anyway, sorry. I feel like it's always like so hard to talk about books without spoiling them. But there are two characters from the original one that, like, when I read The King of Scars, I was really missing and hoping. I was like, man, come on, just bring them back, even for just like a split second. And she does that in this book. And when I like read that, it just like, I got that. I'm obsessed. Okay, like literally I started this book. I read this all in one day. This is what I have left. And what's funny is I was reading the like Grave Mercy. I can't remember. It's like Grave Mercy, something, Mortal Heart, and then it has like Courting Darkness, Igniting Darkness. And I loved the first book in that series, but I'll be honest, I really didn't like the second and third one. And like kind of when that fourth and fifth one got in there, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like it. And when I finished, I was like, okay. But the difference was when I started reading this one, I could tell when I loved a book compared to when I was just like liked a book. I'm sorry, I almost keep getting all these like weird numbers calling me. When I like really liked a book compared to like when I loved a book and like the obsession with this book. But it's really good. If you have seen the TV series and you're obsessed, like screw the TV series. It doesn't have nothing on the book series, because books are always a million times better. But I mean, I'm not saying that the TV series isn't great because I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying that like you need to read the book series because it's really, really good. I think that again, if you're someone who like you loved the like original Shadow and Bone, and you like the Six of Crows as well, and like you read King of Scars, and you're missing, you guys don't know the character I'm talking about. You're missing her. She does make a comeback in here. It's ever so slight. It's like 2 chapters, but I don't know. She might come back. We've still got a little ways to go. So I'm just super excited, but I had to mention this. Again, if this is still available, I'll link it down below. I'm not sure if it's sold out or not, because I know these like special editions and stuff sell out pretty quickly, but I love this. It's really, really great. So yeah, that is all of my favorites. I feel like I had some pretty good ones this time. So if you guys think I'm missing out on trying anything, like any new books or any new makeup, just let me know down below and I'll pick them up. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.